Periods aren't pleasant, plain and simple. And dealing with physical and mental chronic health conditions on top of it doesn't exactly help the situation. So with that being said, let me introduce you to P.M.D.D. Now, for those of you who don't know what that stands for, that's premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And for all intents and purposes of this video, let's call it PMS on steroids. You know what? No, let's call it the roid rage. You see, because 2 months ago, my P.M.D.D told me that I wanted to punch everyone in the face. And I didn't, and I knew I didn't, but it never seemed to fail that every time a face walked by my fist, I felt this tingle in my fingertips, but I said no. And then last month it told me not to respond to anybody. Isolate. Extra isolate, more than you already do, and no, not in that positive light and mood of solitude. And then this month it forced me to dissociate. And when not dissociating, it forced me to cry. It forced me to cry at everything, even comedy, even more than I do on that normal basis in that oasis called depression. Did I forget to mention depression? Because when it comes to P.M.D.D, it has its own seasoned sort. And for those of you who already suffer, unfortunately, no, it's not a buffer for what's coming. And if it's something you don't experience, well, get ready. Because all of a sudden, your body and mind are rinsed in this waterfall of whiplash you can't dash away from. A once calm mind willing to end it all with the click of a gun, everything lost in a moment because you couldn't see the sun, but it was only blocked for a moment. And even though that moment's on a monthly repetition, I personally believe that the greatest sin of every mental health condition is that it leads us to believe that we cannot achieve and thrive in these lives, but we can. And even in the darkest forest at the stroke of midnight, all I need is the littlest flashlight to find my way out. And if in that moment it can't be found, well then I will bunker down until morning comes, because inevitably morning always comes. And even if I sleep through most of it, it won't quit coming. But if only for a moment, I'll eventually stop running and embrace it. Because when it comes to P.M.D.D, there's really no cure. And it might not ever quit either, but neither will I.